Travel and Things, in association with Rugged Wear, Real People, Real Clothing, Real Solutions, presents In Conversation with. I am your host, David Batsoffen, and my guest today to chat about yet another challenge. Will this man never cease? Is Bruce Lawson. Bruce, how are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks, David.
So before we get into the where, what, and how for, how are things been for you in Oz for what's it now, almost a year that you've been there?
Yeah, I've actually been over a year. Got here last March at the end of the burpee challenge we did last year. So I actually got to the house I'm talking to you from last year on the 25th or 26th of March. So I've been here for over a year now.
All right. So in that year, but again, before we get to the new challenge, what have you accomplished?
What have I accomplished? Well, Dee and I are running a conservancy here, a 63,000 acre, 24,000 hectare conservancy that has been, we're rehabilitating it from old sheep farming land.
Mm-hmm.
So it obviously doesn't have the mega fauna that we have in South Africa, but scenery wise, it's right up there. It's probably the best. It is the best in South Australia, and it's rated as one of the best in Australia.
Okay. So you say no megaflora, so what does it have?
Megafauna, yeah. So we've got the different kangaroos that occur in this area. We've got emus. Then we've got a lot of the other small little stuff that occur here, possums and quolls. Unfortunately, we've also got feral goats that occur in the mountains that we can't eradicate. We've also got domestic cats and sheep as well, which come onto the property from time to time. But that's the way things are.
All right. So now, over the last year, given how active you were here in South Africa, you've decided now to move forward for conservation and throw out yet another challenge to everybody, to circumnavigate the world 5 times. Who comes up with this stuff, Bruce?
Well, David, in my defense, this nutter of an idea was not mine.
Oh,
it was somebody else's in Chembo, and we have just decided to take it on. So yeah, it was a collective decision. It wasn't mine alone. But yeah, we did decide on it simply because this year I'm not going to be kind of the tip of the spear leading the challenge. So this one is to promote anti-poaching and anti-poaching welfare in South Africa, but also B, for 3 weeks, for 25 days, to promote a greener planet by trying to get people out there unmotorized and get them either walking or cycling or wheelchairing or whatever to work, back from work, however they want to do it, but just get the kilometers in, and more importantly, get the sponsorship for the kilometers that they're doing.
so it's what's the circumnavigation, 44,000 kilometers.
Yes, that's correct. So according to the Guinness Book of Records, 44,000 kilometers. That's circumnavigating the Earth on the equator.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we want to do, and we want to try and achieve that by any means, unmechanical means possible. So no engine powered means at all. You can do it by sailing, you can do it by horse riding, you can do it by walking your dog, you can do it by cycling, by running, wheelchair, canoeing, any way you want to, but just unpowered by any mechanical engine device.
Okay, so no e-bikes, which would have probably been my go-to.
No e-bikes.
Just on that note, have you recovered fully from your burpee challenge?
Good question, David. I think in the head, no, but in the body, yes.
So So you're still having therapy as to with
I'm
your
still
therapist going,
undergoing
why?
Yeah, but funny enough, and it's actually quite a good question, because um, I did hurt myself quite severely on those burpees, because not only was it the 30,000 in 10 days, but it was the 52,000 that I did in the 3 months before that, leading up to the burpees. That all took its toll, and
Yeah.
I got quite a bad impingement in my shoulder, which took about 9 months. Only just recently has it completely faded away. And then also doing so many burpees, my hip flexors have shortened. So I've had to go through a lot of stretching and physio to get those back to normal length again, which has led to knee pain and stuff like that. But every sport has its injury, and we're getting over that one, and we're going to climb into the next one.
I would have expected nothing else from you. I remember those early mornings well, with me sending you rude messages on your phone, waiting for you to look at them.
Yeah, I know. Those messages kept me going. You and everybody else who sent me those messages was just perfect, because by the time you guys were waking up and it was early morning for you, I was into kind of my last session of 1,000
Yeah.
burpees, where I really needed everybody's help.
So you mentioned sponsorship. So obviously people are going to be running, jumping, and not standing still. And then they're going to ask friends and family for money, basically, which will go to whom and for what?
Okay, it goes to, obviously, the challenge. The name of the challenge is called Forward for Conservation,
Right.
because it's just a forward moving thing. And all the money goes to Chembor, and then from Chembor, it will be dealt out to the necessary parties. It's going to GKEF, the Greater Kruger Environmental Protection Foundation, which is in support of the anti-poaching in the Greater Kruger and the Kruger area. And more specifically, it's going to support the rangers' children, in that we're going to support their education. There are a few other small areas that it will go to as well. It's going to anti-poaching teams. So we're going to be looking at upskilling and up-training anti-poachers, specifically with dogs. We want to put an educational video together for schools and for tourism, and something that can be spread around the whole of the country, if not the whole of the world. And we try to get it into SA tourism as well, just on the plight of anti-poaching. And then we want to put into the medical and life insurance for the rangers who are on the ground, fighting this war day in and day out. They need our support more than anything else. And we just feel that in offering medical assistance and life insurance, we are then providing not only for them, we're providing for their families should something happen to them. And then also looking after their kids. It takes a lot of pressure off the ranger on the ground, so that he can actually concentrate, or she can concentrate on what they're doing and not worry about family back home. So it's all for a good cause.
It is indeed. And given the recent murder of, I've forgotten the guy's name now, at Timbavati. And yeah. People have now come to realize just how dangerous this job is, because the poachers will stop at nothing. And if you are standing in the way, you literally put a target on your back. So all the areas that you've covered, school uniforms for the ranger children, medical and life insurance, training and upskilling, and even the production of the video is extremely important. And this money is going to go to a worthwhile cause at the end of the day. And it's a cause that not many people know about. And I think this, and you specifically, Bruce, will bring this to the fore. Is there a figure that you guys have picked for the amount per kilometer, or is that up to the participants?
That is entirely up to the participants. And if participants want to participate and not get sponsorship per kilometer, but just get in there, get in the race, and then donate money, that is also absolutely allowed. There's no problem there. So what people can do is they can go onto the Chembo Africa website, and they can register on the Forward for Conservation. They will get a registration number. They can see the scores of who's got how many kilometers as they go. They can log those kilometers on whichever device they want to. You know, everybody's got their own device. I've got Garmin. Other people have got different devices on different things, Fitbit or whatever they're using, or just on their phones. And then they can log those kilometers. We are taking it on good faith and trust that people are going to be honest and putting their kilometers in. Or it does depend how badly they want to win, I suppose. But at the end of the day, there is no winner at who does the most kilometers. What we're trying to do is we're trying to set a target of R1 million that we want to once again raise for this very worthwhile cause. So R1 million, and then the challenge is obviously to get round the earth 5 times collectively, as a whole, as a group. So when we add all the kilometers up at the end of the day, it would be really nice if we could get around the world 5 times.
Forget about around the world in 80 days. We've got to do around the world 5 times in 24 days, basically.
Absolutely. Now, if that's not a challenge, then I don't know what is.
Now, I was at the Tembo website yesterday. You can pre-register, as you mentioned, because the actual event only takes place or starts on the 1st of September. So if people are going to start clocking miles now, they wasted miles, people, or kilometers, or millimeters, or whatever you're going to drag yourself through. Use from now. You know what, Bruce? I want to do the least number of steps. So I'm going to work in millimeters, and I'm going to see how not far I can get on this challenge. I'm just going to sit at my desk for 24 days and not move.
Well, there's a challenge right there. If you can sit at that desk and not move for 24 days, that's actually quite a good challenge. We must put that in the bucket for the following year.
Okay. Yeah, so at the end of the day, you're not only helping conservation, you're getting people out there, you're getting them motivated, you're getting them mobile, but without having to step in a car or step on a bike or a Segway or anything like that. Just get out there and walk. And it doesn't have to be in nature. You can go for a walk, as you said, up the street to your local coffee shop. You can, if you're in Joburg, you can walk in Delta Park. It's glorious. Spring has almost sprung here. And in fact, your challenge starts on September 1st, which is sort of the official first day of spring here in South Africa.
Yeah. So people should spring into action.
Bruce, you did mention that there has to be a winner of some sort. I mean, somebody's going to walk around the earth 7.5 times, and I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be you, but that's neither here nor there. You'll do it incognito. Is there something for whoever puts in the most steps or raises the most money, or is it just a pat on the back to say, well done, thank you very much, conservation appreciates what you've done for it?
David, a very, very good question. And I can't give you a definitive answer yet. There will definitely be a pat on the back. As for prizes and prize winnings, we're not 100% sure. There will be, but we're just not 100% sure what that is for whoever does the most. But they will definitely get a pat on the back. And if we ever meet up again, I will definitely buy them a beer or 12.
Great stuff. The addressing once again the website that they can go to start pre-registering.
Yeah, it's the Chembo Africa Foundation. So it's www.chemboafricafoundation, all one word.com. And if they want to donate, they can donate. If they want to join the Forward for Conservation, then it is FFC for Conservation. So it's a Forward for Conservation. They can just jump onto that. They can register with that. They can read all about everything that is for this challenge is down there, and what we all about and what we stand for. But yeah, they must just go to the website and they must just register on the website. That would be perfect.
And Chembo is spelt?
TSHEMBO. So TSHEMBO, and it means hope in Tonga.
And we're hoping that there are going to be lots of people wandering around the suburbs all over the world. And when they're stopped by friends or strangers going, "What the heck are you doing?" You go, "I'm walking around the world. I don't know about you."
Perfect. They can say they're walking around the world for conservation and promoting a greener planet.
Great stuff. Bruce Lawson, all the way from Australia. Thanks very much, mate. Always good to chat to you. And we'll talk again during and after the event.
Super. Thank you very much, David. And thanks for inviting me on the show.